This week in U.S. immigration news, we are going to cover: immigrant workers rebuild Florida, Democratic Congress on DACA, USCIS updates military naturalization guidance, plan to manage flow of Venezuelan migrants, USCIS issues guidance on EB-5 reform, spike in migrants from Cuba, Nicaragua and Venezuela, 15 immigrants and allies arrested in protest of DACA ruling. Immigrants and asylum seekers have been targeted by Florida advertisements on apps such as WhatsApp and Telegram for day labor after Hurricane Ian. Advocates are concerned the migrants are being targeted by fly-by-night businesses that seek to exploit people for hard work and low wages. The advertisements have been reaching people in New York, with Spanish messages offering jobs. New York community organizer, Ariadna Phillips, said this looks and smells like human trafficking. Phillips already was told from several laborers that their wages were docked to pay for their room and board, which was not part of their original agreement with the company. On October 5, a three-judge panel of the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed a lower court decision that Obama's executive order protecting Dreamers was unlawful. If the lower court holds the revised DACA unconstitutional, this decision will likely be returned to the Fifth Circuit and may then be reviewed by the Supreme Court. President Joe Biden responded to the Fifth Circuit and the Republican-governed states that have been fighting DACA in the courts, stating this is just another example of the extreme agenda being pushed by MAGA Republican officials. He further said, "It is long past time for Congress to pass permanent protections for Dreamers, including a pathway to citizenship." USCIS published an update to its policy manual as a result of a settlement agreement in Calixto vs. Department of the Army, known as the Calixto Agreement. In this agreement, effective September 22, 2022, the U.S. Army agreed to certify Form N-426, Request for Certification of Military or Naval Service, for Calixto class members. These class members can become eligible for naturalization under Section 329 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, even before attending initial entry training. Calixto members are individuals who enlisted in the U.S. Army as part of the Military Accessions Vital to National Interest pilot program on or before September 30, 2017, who were not discharged as of September 22, 2022. Or had received a discharge that was not characterized as honorable, general under honorable conditions, other than honorable conditions, bad conduct, or dishonorable.
If you are new to our channel, welcome and please subscribe to stay in the loop. We offer free 15-minute consultations if your case is qualified, so we can point you in the right direction. Stay tuned for the secret code later in the show.
The Biden administration has been discussing a new program to manage the flow of Venezuelan migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. The administration is discussing the implementation of a new program where Venezuelans would apply to arrive at a U.S. port of entry rather than crossing illegally along the southern border. There has been a recent influx of migrants from Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua, totaling 55,333 migrant encounters this year, which equals a 175% increase compared to last August. The goal of this plan is to create a more orderly process, and if migrants meet the requirements and are approved, they will then be paroled into the U.S. at an airport and can legally work. The U.S. is also anticipating Mexico to be taking some Venezuelan migrants under Title 42. USCIS has issued policy guidance in its manual based on the vacatur of the EB-5 modernization rule and the EB-5 Reform and Integrity Act of 2022. Policy highlights include removing the provisions in the EB-5 modernization rule that a federal court vacated on June 22, 2021. Included in the update is that now an applicant may file Form I-485, application to register permanent residence or adjust status, concurrently with, or subsequent to, a Form I-526, immigrant petition by standalone investor, where a visa is immediately available. The investment amounts and targeted employment area designation process has been revised. The update also changed the name of Form I-526 throughout Volumes 7 and 8 to the current name, Immigrant Petition by Standalone Investor. There has been an increase in migrants arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border from Cuba, Nicaragua and Venezuela. Migrants from these three countries have been making up almost one-third of all migrants encountered by U.S. immigration authorities in August. Throughout August, immigration authorities encountered more than 203,000 individuals at the southern border. Migrants from Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Cuba made up about 56,000 of those encounters. On Thursday, after protesting a conservative appeals court ruling, 15 immigrants and allies were arrested. These protesters were arrested due to blocking traffic in front of a U.S. Senate building in Washington, D.C. after the appeals court upheld a lower court decision from last year that found the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program to be unlawful. Many of the 100 people protesting were DACA recipients who have been dealing with uncertain futures due to the continuous challenges against the program. The protesters are urging Congress to act following the appeals court ruling.
Friends, show us some love and smash the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. If you have an immigration problem or need a second opinion because you cannot get a hold of your own lawyer, schedule a meeting with our team. Share information with our CARES team and they will help you get scheduled with our legal team. Now here's a secret code to unlock the free 15 minutes.